Okay guys, so since the video was getting too long, I took a little break and this is our second part, and I'm gonna have milk right now. Well, we go to this. This is also similar questions about my marriage expectation, but this one is a little different, so I wanted to answer this. Your expectations and reality of married life. Honestly, I was quite aware of what I was getting into. There was no fairy tale expectations from him, and I knew what I was getting into even before marriage. And honestly, my respect for my husband has grown even much more than I used to have before. Looking him, how hardworking and involving he has been into throughout this have made me really appreciate him even more. And you guys already know we have been working together as a business partner in our pickle business as well, and I always thought that I could never find someone that could match my energy, but honestly he's one of the most hardworking person I've ever met, and he's an over performer. He have literally like set the standard high after marriage again. I'm really grateful for him. So this marriage is definitely been a blessing. I'm not saying like so be perfect as but at least satisfaction as there is peace and prosperity in this marriage that I've been so far. I'm happy. So yeah, that's it. Any advice or caution from you and your husband? Yes, we both agreed on one thing, that is, do not be sharing too much of our personal information, especially on social media. So we have agreed to this term, and we have made sure that not everything needs to be on social media. Sometimes maybe all up to extra because for me it's a usual thing, but things that are not comfortable for him, maybe paratak to boundary set kole try say, because not everything has to be shared on social media. Some they have different perspective, thinking be alag hui jai, they interpret things differently, mohan itu ina share hui ulta bhi bhabna hui jai. So to protect our peace and also privacy, we have made sure, we have come into terms that we should be very mindful of what we share on social media. And yes, now the next question is, you said you have graduated in the year 2016. What are the different jobs you have tried and how has your experience been? Now this is gonna be a long story, so you guys hold your coffee. Okay, so I graduated in the year 2016, but right after my graduation I went for my master's degree, which is master's in zoology, and I completed in the year 2018. So right after my completion, like any other, I also followed the usual path and started for the coaching, for a government job obviously. But after 2-3 months of my coaching classes, I felt that it was not meant for me, so I left the coaching class after going for 3 months, and then I decided to go back to my hometown. And again, I didn't stop from there. I went for another diploma course in computer, and soon after my computer classes there was a LDA cum computer assistant post in one school. I decided to apply for it, and luckily I got selected for it. So I was working as LDA cum computer assistant in my district. By that time I have also started my YouTube channel, so I was also doing content creation, and also I did ventured into business, which was Oriflame business. I was juggling 3-4 jobs at that time. Like I said, I'm not someone ini chupchap bohi thakibole laga manuhan to thaya nai moi. I was always into something or the other. So the year ended, which is 2019, and I decided I'll leave the job. So I left the job and decided to do full-time with my creative work, which is content creation and also business. But then COVID started, and after COVID, in the middle of the COVID, the school again approached me if I could teach again in the middle of the year, because I have already known the system and how it works. One of the teacher left all of a sudden. They couldn't find any potential teacher halfway, midway they are requested for it. So again, I joined the school. Most of the classes were through online, and somehow I decided to work there as a teacher the next year, which is 2020. And after the year ended in 2021, I decided to go full on with my content creation because I was also getting opportunities. I was able to work with bigger brands like deals kan phal ahidagishe. So let me just kill this mosquito. Later in that year, I decided to go full on with my content creation, and I was also really doing well in the Oriflame business. By that time, I was already promoted to senior manager, where I was earning more than 40-50k in a month just with the Oriflame business. And also I was doing side by side even content creation, and by that time I also had dedicated brand promotions from Amazon as well. So I was contented somehow, but my parents were still not satisfied because it's a risky job. No matter how much you achieve, they always have this fear that government job na the secure nai. That's their thought. But I assured them, muitahan challenge kushi. I told my dad that one day I will buy a car on my own. I'll hard earn money, and tohan gibi kinina diwo do imanta kushi moy. I was that brave, like not knowing how it will go, but I challenged myself and also made my promise. Decided to go full on with content creation. People noticed, and I got into another opportunity to work with Crystal Foundation, which is an NGO organization, and the project that we are working is under RBI. So that was a post for center manager, where we go to village, rural communities and teach financial literacy to the unorganized sector of our society. So I got the opportunity, went for an interview, of course, and then I got selected for it. So I've been doing that job as well, but as of now I don't know if I can still continue with this job that I have right now. I might be soon resigning from this job because I have mobility restraints now. I cannot travel to my hometown back and forth like that. So and that job requires physical presence in the office as well. So these are some of the things that we have to give up sometimes, and I'm not sad about it. In fact, the opportunity that I've received have been so much fulfilling in my journey that because of joining this organization, I'm able to do a lot, especially in my personal finance. Bibishi improve wishe. I could able to save up, buy my own car, also buy my parents that they be help grow Parisha. I could able to help my family members in distress, and a lot of other things, opportunities came along as I joined this job. So these are some of the opportunities that I received over time, and these are some of the experiences that I have so far. And honestly, I am not afraid to try new things. So right now I'm venturing into our food processing, this pickle business. Honestly, like this have been quite fulfilling job for me because this is something that I really enjoy, and not just me but my husband also loves cooking. It has been a very fulfilling journey for us, and we are looking forward for this business journey, like new venture to papna grace. And I believe that if you are good at it, apni the job will come finding you, and you don't have to look for the job. So definitely I'm open anytime, anywhere. Kila opportunities will I believe I can face it. These are some of my experiences right now. How old are you and your husband? Also, a lot of people have asked me about my age and also my husband's. Like for me, I've been very open about my age. I don't have to hide it from anyone. So yes, just recently I turned 30 and my husband just turned 35. So our age gap would be like gap of 5. So yes, I think we complement each other, and knowing that we both are from the 90s, I think there's not much of difference or age gap or things that we cannot follow along, because pishi generation gap will be understanding all of you, but we are both from the 90s and we are definitely getting along. Yeah. Your favorite song and a singer? Honestly, like I've got multiples of favorite songs, but You know, my all-time favorite is Taylor Swift and all the songs of Taylor Swift. What's your view on modest dressing? Now, this is something that I definitely want to address. Such a thoughtful question, and I personally appreciate modesty, but I think people also misunderstand what modesty actually means. The reason why I think this person have been asking me about modesty concern is because lately I've been getting a lot of comments, especially regarding my pregnancy photos or the appearance in my body changes. And it's so funny that people have been asking you to cover up your bum or don't show your bump. Like, it's a kind of a curse. I mean, like, why cannot someone embrace their pregnancies? And just like your body changes, it will be apnila body as well. And this has nothing to do with not being modest when you show your baby bump, unless apni inappropriately behave this shouldn't be a question about like itu bump dikhai shigule apni do piya manu ase iniga be kunai. So I don't know how we are taking this, but itu hando all of the dimag khuliwo lage that pregnancy changes women's body, and every women have a right to embrace their body changes. And if it has to do with me showing my belly, that they may disrespect kunai. I have been in different occasions where I have to present, like for example content creation, they have certain brand requirements where you have to dress this way, like sleeveless whole like like certain brand requirements. And as a creative content creator, you also have to comply with their rules and regulations. And also, if I have to present in a public, maybe it is up to dress grow, or if I have to go to church, I will dress accordingly. If I have to go to work, I make sure my dress are presentable. But I also believe that women have also the right to feel comfortable in their own skin, so that they mahan itu dress kura to biase dia kurase inya judge kurole. That shouldn't be a question of modesty. That's your mindset. It is our mindset that we should be changing and not pointing fingers on people. Ito to palase to biase iniga. Honestly, this kind of mindset is something that we should definitely evolve, because we are not living in an early men kando takando chulai nai tade aro tade ki kotha olai asina. So what I am sharing all this is my personal experience and my personal journey. I'm not trying to defend myself by dressing this way or that way, but I've always believed in modest dressing, and I also make sure that I'm presentable, appropriately dressing different occasions. Palrana kinya jolawo lage to jolai na so there shouldn't be people questioning about how to dress or how you should behave or whatnot. So I've been seated for almost an hour, and I'm also receiving guests right now. So once again, I'm back. So this question has been asked by a lot of people. If you're living in a joint family in Kohima, do you miss your family or siblings? Is the house rented or owned? So a lot of people have asked me on this, so I just wanted to quickly answer. So this house is owned by their family, and yes, we are so grateful for this house. Like, many people get married, but they don't really get to live in a fully furnished house like that right after marriage, and we don't take this for granted. So all thanks to their family. Do you live in the same building? Yes, we do live in the same building but different flats, so we have our own space. And the best part about living together in a joint family like this is that you can always run to each other when you need help. I know why this is coming from, because we all have this dramatic idea, like in the Hindi serial movie, where Sas and Bahu, they don't get along. But ours is not like that. We have our own privacy, and also we all mind our business, and whenever we need help, we run to each other. And that is the best part. And also, if you guys know or not, my family members also stay like that in the same house. We also my brothers tahan bi inia niche de do mula dada han thage, upor de mohan thage, aro upor de do mula another second brother tahan bi inhai thagi ase. And then we live in harmony, and then whenever we need help, actually help bi modot khan bi pai jai. there's a sense of security when you have your family around. You miss your siblings. Yes, of course, I do miss my siblings and my family, and that is natural. But over the time, I've come into realization that life has to go on. My siblings also got married eventually, and then they have started their own family. So I've already came into term that, one day I'll also have to start my own family. So mentally I was already prepared, and I am prepared for this new chapter of my life. Are your and your husband's qualification? So my husband is from civil engineering background, and I took masters in zoology from Bangalore University. So we both come from different academic fields, but I think that's what makes it even more interesting. When and how did you start being an influencer? So this is very funny because when I started, I had literally no idea that I'm gonna be influencing someone, or influencer ekta hobo bina. I didn't start it, and there were very less creators like this when I started my YouTube journey. So now that influencers and all these content creators, it has become a trend. We don't know or realize, but this influencer have got a lot of power, spread awareness. We have to use our platform very wisely. So yeah, you never know अपनी लगा platform ba manu laga life भी change हो पारे इन्हीं से. So make sure you are using it wisely whenever you use your platform. Means, how do you know that he is the one for you? If you see a potential in him and God is truly with you, then of course there will be obstacles, but you both will get along, and it's for both of you to decide if you really want to get this thing together, or if you want to build a future together or not. It's up to you to decide. At the end of the day, it's taking a leap of faith in God to build a life together, because like it's alright now, like this is for you, so it's for you to decide if you really want to build a family together. Long term, because we can never guarantee. People even get divorced even after settling down for 20-30 years. There is no guarantee, but for both of you to decide if you both want to be together for lifetime. So ups and downs will be there. You have to adjust. And yes, I want to add this story. So back in the year 2022 or 21, I'm not really sure with the year, I have literally not met him that time, and I went along with Sis Chimdeno to her sister's wedding. So it seems that even he came. So that video, I also took a vlog during that time. Funny incident is that I went along with Sis Chimdeno, but I ended up with lining up with their parents. So we all go for greeting them, right? So I went with my friends with Sis Chimdeno, but I ended up lining with them, and in that video, three of us were standing together. I could see their parents and I were standing on the same line. So maybe this was destined for me, that I will eventually end up in their family. So looking back, ito can be a striking destiny nishna like, yeah. If I look back, I already do la photo han that parents can give it we had a good laugh about it. So some of you have also asked about wedding expenses, and I think these are very personal questions, and I don't know exactly how much pishi China that you will give money. Honestly, most of the expenses were done by the groom's family. 20 to 30 lakhs to any China tayo. I have also personally saved up for my wedding from advance. Even from my own personal finance, also mula own personal pocket pabi, not less than 5-6 lakhs to any jai like any coupon ko any jai mui laga expenses to chari mula parents can be expenses ko na tayo. So weddings in Nagaland could be expensive. You can go for a simple wedding, but it's once in a lifetime in Vijay. And also we made sure that the food is on top, so we gave a lot of priority on our food. And one thing that I ended up ordering for more than 1,000 guests, where team Etsui, they have been asking that 800 la prepare really be ni punchi but I made a lot of invitation cards, can be pishi panaishe, and then even after making a lot of invitation, I couldn't send it to a lot of them because we work hard at most of my friends they stay in Kohima, Dimapur, tahangi sobke card pak kuri gurna jawo parnai, so I could only send it through like message. So some acknowledge it, some didn't acknowledge it, but at the same time I'm not even blaming them because during that time there were a lot of weddings. Yeah, we crush bhi hui jai. But one best thing about the wedding was that I could see a lot of familiar faces, people that I didn't expected they would come did turn up, and also a lot of elderly people like my dad's side, the family side, they be like tangor manukan. When I say tangor manu, rich people can go on they like elderly manukan coming to pray for you, and even woka pastor but that good Dimapur dak ahigina iniya kuri dia do. I think that was one of the biggest blessing we have received so far, because I could see a lot of blessings in this marriage. People who came, genuinely came, and then they prayed for us. Itu karena right now we could see prosperity in this marriage. So hopefully we will continue to live with this. But ini ko wala mon jado, marriage is all about the two people coming together. Feasting can be important as a like sometimes we tend to go extra, kitiawa the over expenses bhi hui jai wedding karne bhi, so any simple ra bhi hui jawo pare, but if you want to go extra mile, then you guys have to save up enough. It shouldn't be a burden for both the families because people are getting married. So yeah, that's my take on the marriage and the expenses. So sorry guys, I ran out of memory and also battery, so I had to charge and come back again. So here, moving on to the next, what is the best moment or memory? So here, without a doubt, would be our wedding day. It was one of the most meaningful and memorable days so far, and I still can't forget the look on my husband's face. He was literally shaking the moment he took my hand, and at one point of time I thought he's gonna collapse because he couldn't stop shivering, and he even said that I'm looking beautiful whispered on my ear, and like, but even so, after that, he couldn't stop shivering. The pastor even noticed that, and he said, "Don't worry, it's normal, and it's okay to feel this way." And somehow he calmed down, and those were kind of very much intimate and personal to me, and I still cherish those moments. And another very memorable incident was right after the ceremony from the church. We went to the reception site. So I promised to myself I'm not gonna cry on my wedding day, but the moment Coco sang one of our favorite songs, especially my husband, Tala Choisi Daishe to Canada, and that song is actually a very meaningful song. I wish I could upload that song if I receive it from our videographer. One day I'll definitely upload that one. It was such a beautiful song sung by her, and as we were all listening, I could see my parents tearing up to the song, and I couldn't hold my tears at that moment. So these were some of the most meaningful and memorable day of my life so far, and I'm gonna cherish it my whole life, even though I have not shared all of our videos. Ito ang sob to tikanay YouTube dito. It'll be like some moments that you have gone through. Those are things to be cherished, and I'm gonna cherish that forever. Let's be a little quicker now. Are you ready for postpartum and all of that? I'll just put up the question here. If I'm really ready for this postpartum, and I know where you're coming from. Definitely, if you are someone who is not surrounded by people, because it takes a village to raise a child, and I know it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be very challenging. But if others can do it, I can also definitely do it. I've been my mentality, and I've been mentally preparing myself for this moment from before. And honestly, I'm not gonna be too overconfident about it because we never know how things will turn. But also, one thing that I would like to share is two of my niece and nephew were raised by my mom my parents, and we were also babysitting them along with we have gone through a lot. Our family have actually gone through a lot. Those are very personal things. In spite of all the difficulties the family have gone through, we made it, and now they're already in their college, Tanbi college purese. So it's not gonna be easy, definitely, but if you have a supportive husband, I believe things will be okay. And my husband have been really positive, very optimistic, saying that maduhan bi pare ase kule ito ki kile na paruwa inya koi thake muige. So I trust him, and I believe that he will also take roles like every parents, that I'm very much hopeful. So definitely not overconfident, but ready mentally for the things that coming up. Looking forward to being a mommy mamacita. Anyway, here is another question again. 10 years from now on, what do you see yourself as a person, not as a wife, not as a mother? Right now I'm 30, so in 10 years I'll be 40, and I believe at that time I will be self-made entrepreneur, I would say. Like my husband and I have been venturing into this food processing uh, through this shared passion that we share, which is cooking, and we're looking forward that this business would grow, and hopefully if these things grow, we will be sharing more of our venture together. So can't say much for now what 10 years would look like. We are looking forward for a greater business partner together. Now this one have been asked by someone to describe in 3 adjectives, like mula sisters. I have 6 sisters. We are like literally 8 of us, but then this person have specifically asked sisters. So let me go with my eldest sister. Her name is Benny, and if she's also watching, is someone who is headstrong, brave at the same time, confident. I would say confident and passionate about things. Even though say three, mo do any additional TSA like and as he should. Tai do eldest as Mikey Lode. So yeah. And next would be my sister Noying. She's from theology background. She already have 3 daughters, and she's one of the most resilient, humble, grounded person. Even as a sister, I would say she's that kind, and she's not active on social media, by the way. Now next would be Sue. We call her Sue. Sue is actually very close to me because she's like my sister, just elder to me. She is someone who is very creative and talented, and yes, determined, and also a fast learner, I would say, because in just 2 years she could catch up Rangma language. And Ajikalila generation, we don't see many young couples who would actually want to learn language kaniman learn kura nai. Really like taido pat learn kurishe Rangma lawi, and then she is like a fast learner at the same time. Very inspiring mom, another very inspiring mom. And next would be Lauren, which is my sister next to me. She is someone who is very reliable, I would say, in terms of work, loyal, and also I would say like supportive, and what else can I remember and sincere, very sincere with her work. Yes, that would be it. And the youngest one, Dipesh, is also a very active on social media, so a lot of you might know her. When I think of my younger sister, she is someone who is very bold, courageous, and also kind at the same time. She is someone who is like independent at the same time, fearless and independent. So these are some of the things that I can describe. Like three usually be like when you think deeply, it one yet. So these are some of the 3 adjectives that I would like to describe my siblings as well. And some you also asked the beauty parlor give the cleaners ask Queen. Say I can't find the question right now, but no, she doesn't have any beauty parlor or any shop like that, but she have taken trainings on beauty. So tai as a makeup artist bhi kure, she did a good job, really good job, especially on my wedding as well, because I didn't want it to look that overly ni makeup hui jai na wedding kande and you look somehow different. But she did a very wonderful job on my wedding. It was very natural, and she's very much underrated because Daibi iman practice tagure, but still Daibi bishi palase when it comes to makeup and everything. I hope তাই তুমি watch করে আছে বলে তাই practice করলে ভালো হবে তাইলা itu talent do. Let's go to the most influential person in my life. If I think of influential person in my life, then you guys must be thinking of some figures from around the world, but I would say my dad would be one of the most influential people that I have come across. I have not seen anyone like him. Moila baba khan noile family khan ge ekdam press crazy na bhi no hoy de, but I have met so many people, but not like my dad. He is someone who is very optimistic about life, very much hardworking, dedicated, very brave, and also a man of wisdom. So if I have to look or seek for an advice, I always run to my dad. Or for example, if I am going to represent, then I would speak to him for hours and hours, and he would give me any knowledge. Anyone can acquire knowledge, but wisdom comes from the Lord, and he is someone with a man of wisdom. So I always run to him. He has always been a great role model, and he will be the most influential person in my life. Something you have done recently that made you feel truly appreciated. If I could think of just recently, then it's not very recently that I've done, but last year, I think in the month of October, we decided to gift our parents a new their dream car, which is Bolero. My dad have always dreamt to own a Bolero car, and it was not possible for him to buy it on his own. So moi nijola gari to kini loise, and I was doing well, but then tahan to ikko jolaise, and I was gonna get married. So before I get married, I created a group and finally decided, siblings can so join group there, and we decided at least tahan gi gift dibo gari ekta libi kini na dibo ina wishe. And since I took the initiative, I I made sure I was giving the lion's share even for the collection. So that was something that we did for our parents. And yes, kumando ko pare ki parents can buy dibo lagi aro ina bi mindset ho pare, but we come from a family, big family, and it was not possible for my parents to give us tahan giman bare kurishe. And coming from a middle class family with no generational wealth, nothing, everything on his own, taibi mohange manda grace ko barishe. So the only thing we could give back was at least tahanla life be all comfortable good ole. So I think that is something that needs to be appreciated. Now we're going to the last ones because I'm also actually really tired. I've been sitting for quite some time. Now this is someone asking good and bad things about each other, like moi aro husband la, and something that I admire most about my husband. My husband is someone who loves to plan things in advance. So he is more like a planner, and I'm someone who is a planner but also very spontaneous. I could be very spontaneous at times. He wants me to tell things in advance. For example, we are going out somewhere tomorrow, and if I just tell him achanak say that let's go there, he's not gonna come even if I request him multiple times, because he sticks with rules, and they plan kurane na jawo even if I ask him multiple times. So sometimes that annoys me a lot because I can be very spontaneous with my decisions, and moi to ini bari jawo aro ki ini atai bhabna gure, but that doesn't happen. So that is something that really annoys me about him, that he just sticks to his plan and just not trying to cooperate. And one bad thing about me is I think that whatever that I'm saying or doing is right. I miss right always. So he also gets really annoyed with my decisions sometimes. I stubbornly do things on my own if he's not doing it for me. So which is something that could be quite frustrating for him as well, but that's how we live it. But the most thing that I admire about him is about his discipline, sense of responsibility, and the way he is very calm and collected most of the times, and I'm the one who is always panicking, like. So he said, calm down. And yeah, I believe that's how we balances out each other. So that's how we perfectly blend together as a partner. Still have a lot of questions to answer, but I'm just gonna end this. But I'll be answering this most asked question, which is about our income and also income from YouTube. Business profitable. So before I get into all the incomes, I want to share this one, because this person have also asked me, Apnido, did have you parcel your pickles outside of India? Yes, I have parceled our pickles outside of India. Japan dibi pathaise, and also Germany also, and also Korea. Like outside of states, we have also parceled our pickles, and the result was quite not that good, because it takes such a long time, and in the process of dispatching and parceling things, damage bhi hui jaye. So we don't want to take risk anymore. And also with my logistic partner, they're also not willing to take risks, especially outside of India for now. So we have not parceled any packages after the last incident in Germany, because the parcel condition reached there really pathetic. Like we have also tried to improve on our packages, but then Baryatak safeguard kole try kurishe, but it was not possible. So yeah, as of now we have kept on hold for international parcels. So now let's talk about this business there profitable as the night. So these are some of the personal questions that you guys have asked, and I'm not gonna keep everything, because some of you might also want to know how much a content creator or a YouTuber actually earns. So completely keeping wouldn't be nice as someone who is consuming this. So but also at the same time, I cannot be revealing our income. One is for security reason. The second one would be, I have been into financial literacy, working as a consultant in financial literacy, and one thing that my professional work have taught me is to not share your income, especially publicly. So you see anyone, you will not find any influential person sharing their income. So it would be unwise for me to speak or share the exact number. So that wouldn't be wise for me to share all of that, but I can give you figures. And another reason why I wouldn't want to share is because if you share people about your income, they will think that you are over showing off your income or whatnot. And the second, another reason would be, if you say that you're earning less, people will think less of you. So for all this reason, let's just get into the facts and figures now. So for YouTubing through AdSense, I can be completely honest. So AdSense is something that runs in the videos, like randomly pop out Korean. Ito on the AdSense koi. From YouTube AdSense, I hardly earn like 10 to 20k in a month. So which is not much, because I hardly post like 4 to 5 videos, and that's very less for a creator. If you really want to earn more, you're very consistent, then you could earn even more. So and viewership also depends. Ito wale mula viewership to around India hani bishi ase. I've never been out of India, so I don't have viewers from USA or outside of India. So Mahan dollar is up there here, to consumers are mostly from India, so Indian currency they to komti hui jai paole to around 10 to 20 in between day thage in a month. and also another professional job itukan. And yes, I've been partnering with Amazon for almost 4 to 5 years now. It's a like long-term partnership with them, so they've been paying pretty much good amount, I would say handsome amount. So ito bishi bala se. That's why I make dedicated videos every month, especially for Amazon. But for this month, I'm not doing it, and yeah, I might continue to do it again next month, depending on the health condition. And other brand partnership with beauty products, and not just YouTube they've been the Hanoi. In fact, I'm earning more now on Instagram through partnership with different brands. They are mostly now focusing on shorts, YouTube shorts, noile Instagram shorts, because they are more engaging. They can pay you 30, 40, 50 K for just one video. So I can say that in a month I roughly earn like 6-digit figure to any every month punji jai. So yeah, that's my income. And also to be very honest with our pickle business, it's very much profitable, but also at the same time, if you are a beginner, you need to buy all the resources, materials, raw materials can be sob kinibo lagi jai when it comes to food business. So bishi biggi ase nya bhabna grobo, but then again you're also buying all the raw materials. 30% income though 30% hi ho jai, and 70% becomes the raw materials that you're buying. And honestly, right after our marriage, the pickle business have been really thriving, and all thanks to my husband. With the introduction of his meat pickles, we have been attracting a lot of customers, and over these few months, more than 7-digit figures we have crossed overall sales. And the profit, like I say, it's like 30%. In a year, we had to buy from scratch everything na, like raw materials kan, machine kan, we sob be scratch ba kine to inya ho jai. Still, it's a profitable business because you can keep the food products for longer period, and if you have the marketing skill and also your audience, because definitely your audience or your consumers tangala upper de ho jai. And if your product is good, definitely people will come back to buy for your product. We are glad that God have been providing us with all the resources and also with all this income. I'm not trying to brag about it, but I'm also able to support my niece and nephew. Tahan college there, and supporting college students is not easy. Like sometimes you have to pay 10-20K, 10,000 plus. For example, tahan la installment kan hui jai shigule do inapi payment hui jai, tahan la expenses can be side. So even if we are earning more, every family have got problems. So manawi nijo la challenges lage, and sometimes kumahan do iman earn korina Madhuhan gibi help na gore inabi papna gore wo. But for example, moido crore lagi ase, kumando lakh lagi ase, kumando in terms of thousand lagi ase ine ase. So manula problems are requirements kan do ine ase. So we cannot just judge and just throw stones at people. Aro expectations eman thagena kumando influencer hange eman kini ase manuhan ki to help pi na kore inya bi koi ilbi mohan bi we are working hard so that we can afford this lifestyle, and we have chosen this lifestyle to only work hard kore. So everyone is working for their own plate, nijor khawole karni, nijor lifestyle elevate korole karni kam kore ase. So we should never come into conclusion about people, even if they are earning tahan tukhi kurigina hai kamai ase do. So we don't have a say about it. And I believe unless you are handicapped or blinded, you should be able to do things on your own. Maybe scratch my honestly, if I look back at how things have turned now, like God have done wonders in my life. But because I was consistent, I made sure that Lord, boy, truthfully, honesty, with dignity, I will work. Boy, itu mo la call share from the start. So I have not stopped working still, and boy, consistently I put effort in everything that I do. So that is the reason why I'm able to reach thus far. At the end of the day, it's your effort, hard work, and if you're passionate about the things that you're doing, then you will not lose on your way. With that being said, with all the question and answers, I'm gonna cease here. Some of the questions I've skipped because some of them are similar and also like unnecessary hutishe. So I'm so sorry, but if time permits, I will definitely come back again for more Q&A in the future. And also regarding savings and investment, I'm also rest assured that for our future we are saving enough. I've been into investments as well, even if it is short term or long term as well, and also for future retirement plan. Just because you're not from government servant doesn't mean you cannot save money. Now you can also save money through NPS, APY, and many other SIPs and everything. So don't be safe be bare. So you guys, if you are interested on those topics, then we can have better discussions on our savings as well. And on that being with that being said, I wouldn't be able to take that much questions any longer. So yeah, one last question here is share one of your favorite Bible verse. This is my favorite and I still keep it in mind. Which is James 4:10, which is humble yourself in the sight of the Lord and he shall lift you up. So make sure you're grounded no matter what position God places you in. If you remember the Lord, then definitely he will elevate you, take you to higher places. Thank you all so much for watching and also for giving all the thoughtful, insightful questions as well. I was also able to contemplate, sit down and share about my thoughts. And like I said, ito hando mula thinking, mula perspective se. Some might not agree with what I say, but these are all my personal journey, my personal sharing, my experience. So I hope this was helpful for people who have been watching it. So thank you so much once again, and that is it for today. Thank you.